Good morning, folks. Glenn here, Fine Line Farm. Beautiful fall morning here in Oxford County. Heading off to the Santa Claus Parade Nair later today. So just standing here in the what's known as the sheep coverall on this farm. And we're looking at this year's crop of English large black piglets. So this pen here, there's 15. They belong to two different litters, a litter of 5 and a litter of 10, but they were born 12 hours apart and we left the mothers in together, so they raised them all and got a pretty uniform group of piglets because of it. But these piglets are locked in here because they are almost 4 weeks younger than this group of piglets, and there is 66 of them. 66 from 9 different litters, and they were all born within 6 days of each other. So we left all their mothers in together and they kind of co-raised this batch. So now they're all weaned. This batch is significantly smaller and we don't need that many pigs. So we sold these 15 and they will be leaving later this week, going to 3 different customers. This group of pigs, so these, we'll go back to these, we actually house them in this little yard and coverall with their mothers, and we just wean them. And this group of pigs was out there, I'll zoom in on that pasture, and it was nice and green and grassy, and they had a pretty good fall out there. They had those plastic calf huts for shelter, but and the reason why they were out there, it's the only field on the farm that's fenced with real good pig tight wire with small enough spacings to keep the piglets from crawling out. And we ran a live wire around the inside of that to keep the sows from pushing on it, and that actually trained the piglets. And now these piglets are pretty well trained. The reason why they're in here is because those huts needed to be bedded last night and it was getting really cold, but I plan on moving them today, so I didn't want to put a bunch of bedding in there and then move them today. So this had to get bedded up anyway for the winter, get the winter started off, so I just brought them up here. The sheep will end up spending the winter using this shelter, and the cattle. But these pigs are now going to go out to the pasture now that they're electric fence trained, and they are going to live in this pasture straight behind us here. And this pasture is where I'm currently bale grazing the dairy herd. They are way over there, just over that hill in between those trees and the top of that hill. And I will bale graze by dumping bales out all winter in this field, and the sheep and cattle will eat their hay out here, and probably somewhere up on top of that hill over there, I'll line up the 9 calf huts and keep them bedded with straw, and that's where these piglets will live. They'll spend their days roaming around, rummaging through cow dung and sheep manure and everything else, and eating alfalfa and everything else that's in those bales, and everything the cows and sheep don't eat. And then these gates will be open during the day, and they'll have access back to this coverall because that's where the water fountain is that they will drink from this winter. So that's the plan. I need to get those huts moved, so they might spend a day or two in here while I just get a few things organized out there, but then it's just a matter of opening these gates and out they go. So that is our fall update on the pigs.